All right. My expectation, as always, for the group, my expectation is everyone will realize that distractions is not the battle. Distractions is not the battle. I'll elaborate on it in a minute. Oh, okay. My wife will pass something out. When you pick one, don't open it, don't read it. Everybody understand that? Okay. Pick one, do not read it. We'll read it when we get to the section of the book, all right? Let me see how many people follow this. Yo, I'm telling you, man, we be like, man, I'm reading mine, man. It goes with the program. Don't you show me like got about 6 people back there like, man, I gotta read mine. But anyway, let's go. So everyone will realize that distraction is not the battle. Everybody say, I must have endurance. I must have endurance. This is good. This is good. You must have endurance, y'all. Rising to a challenge reveal hidden abilities within you that otherwise would have remained dormant. Until you have to cope with adversities, you don't know what you're capable of. Wise people like you and I have always understood the connection between suffering and growth. When there is something great inside a man or a woman, there will be obstacles in their path that are designed to stimulate their minds, harden their natures, and improve wherever they may be incompetent. All the great people like you and I must have endurance. Everybody say, I must have endurance. Say, I must have endurance. It's important because you're going to need endurance because of the places that we have been through and where we have put ourselves in, the situations we put ourselves in. We're going to have to endure through the process. It's going to change. Our situations and circumstances are going to change, but we're going to have to endure through some difficult processes. But it's no problem with that because we have made it this far because we were able to endure. You didn't make it this far just because you got lucky, right? You was able to endure some real difficult challenges and difficult situations. So when I said everyone will realize that the distraction is not the battle. Distraction is not the battle because the battle is, can you stay focused despite the distractions? So even though the distractions is not the battle, right? We already know the distraction at the bottom. You got to stay focused. Let me give you a prime example. I remember I was going to NA meetings. I was going to these meetings, and every time I would go to these meetings, I'm going there obviously to get help on my particular issue. I remember leaving the meeting one time. I left the meeting and walking my way home. I walked past this bag. It was like a plastic bag, and it looked like it had all these bags of bags of cracks in it, right? So I walked past it. I looked at it. I saw it. I kept walking. I turned back around and went back to the bag. Y'all know why I went back? Anybody know why I turned? Huh? I was wanting to see, was it real? So I said, man, hold on. I know what I thought I saw, right? But let me make sure. So watch this. I go back. I pick the bag up, open it up. Sure enough, it's like a bag of 10s and 20s pieces of crack cocaine, a whole lot of, like somebody, the cop was chasing somebody and they threw it or whatever. And I picked it up. I went home. Obviously, I relapsed, right? Now I'm coming from an NA meeting, right? I'm talking about distractions. So I leave the meeting. I go all the way home. I smoke all the crack up, right? I'm sitting there now. I'm skissing. I'm high. I walk back to the corner where I found it. Why I go back? Come on, y'all better act like, oh, now they want to act like. You go back and throw it back. Who said no. Why I went back? The C wasn't any more there, right? So when I went back, obviously he wasn't no more there. But I'm showing y'all something about distractions. Now, those situations like that only happen when you're trying to do right. I'm trying to teach you about a distraction. The distraction is not the battle, right? So the battle is, can you stay focused despite the what? Distraction. Because That situation don't happen when you running and you getting high. You don't find, you know, that it only happens. So that's how I found out about, oh, that was a distraction. So the distractions is not the battle. The battle is, can you stay focused despite the distractions? The reason why this is important, everybody say, I must have endurance. I must have endurance. The reason why this is important is because when you leave here, distractions going to come. You're going to have to remember that, man, he told me, I got to stay focused despite, this is a distraction. It's going to come. You're going to, I'm telling you, it's going to come. Certain situations will come, but you got to stay focused despite the distraction. That's why I said everyone will realize that the distraction is actually not the battle. The distraction was nothing. Now, when I was walking home, I used to walk home I was working at church, and I used to walk home, and while I was walking home, listen to my music, focus, I would see all types of stuff on the ground. I lived close to this place called like Tip Trailer Park, but they used to have all types of stuff going on. But while I'm walking, I'm seeing stuff, right? I'm seeing brand new packs of cigarettes, not open. I'm seeing drugs. I'm walking, but watch this. This time, you know what I didn't do? Because I learned that the distraction wasn't the battle. The battle was, could I stay focused despite it? So I would walk right past it, not check and see if it's real. You know, he tasted it. he tasted a couple stuff. Yo, because you know, you start doing all this stuff. Let me see if it's real. Listen to me, y'all. Everybody say I must have endurance. All of that stuff is actually designed to get you to go back. All that stuff, and the reason why I bring it to individuals and tell people about that is because I don't want it to shock you when it show up. I want you to have, oh, I must have it done. I want you to have something to say when it show up. Because everybody say, once I hear it, I can't unhear it. So now that I heard you hear what I'm telling you, it's in you, no matter if you're receiving it or not. You hear it. It's like you can't not see something you see. I saw it, right? So now that you hear it, so when situations come your way, your own mind, stuff is going to pop up. And it's going to be like, yo, I got to remember that. So the word endurance means the ability or strength to continue or last especially despite fatigue or stress or other adverse conditions. So the word endurance is the ability or the strength to continue. So at this point, y'all have endurance, right? We all have endurance. But we got to understand how to transfer that endurance to continue to keep going. Because you made it this far. You didn't make it this far because you got lucky. You made it this far is because you have endurance. So it says the ability or the strength to continue or last, especially despite fatigue or stress or other adverse conditions. Because a lot of times we get so stressed out and we just like throwing a towel in the sense of you don't even want to keep pursuing or keep going. Who or what stimulates your mind? Who or what stimulates your mind? Something that has always feed your mind. I wrote in my book, all drugs work in the reward center of the brain, which is the frontal cortex. That's the place where your brain seeks a reward. But this is the thing about your frontal cortex. It's the same thing when you work all week and you get your check. That your brain is already functioning like, I'm supposed to get a reward. Like, I worked all week. Where is my check, right? So that part of your brain is not, there's nothing wrong with you when you have this type of reward center going on, right? You can do the same thing positively. It's just that we do things negatively and we need to do things positively.
Okay. If you don't believe that that's a true statement when he said, my husband, before I got him fired from that job.
I told y'all she got me fired.
He needed to be fired. He would get paid on Friday.
Yeah.
Come back Monday. Because he broke by Monday, so he needed to come back home. But he got paid every other week. He can make it. He can function normally till the Wednesday of the next week. So the week he's not getting paid, he's fine. But when that Wednesday started coming after he would get off work, he immediately started picking fights, doing things, because you know, Thursday coming, when he get off work Thursday, when he put to work Thursday night, when he got off in the morning, it's Friday, he got paid. So he pick up fights so he could be mad and then I was like, get out or whatever. But his brain automatically knew payday coming. Now he done made it all these days without getting high, doing anything, just. But when his brain knew that he was about to have some funds, his whole personality changed.
Yeah.
Seriously. So that's why when he said, that is a true statement of the brain, you're about to get a reward. Because he was fine. And I was like, wait, where did this change come from? But his body, everything knew, hey, I'm about to be able to party.
It's time to go. So yeah, because our reward system, the brain, the frontal cortex, that's how everything functions off of that. And it's the same way with Bob and addiction and personalities. When we're thinking about, we know we're about to receive something, like, you know? So we just need to understand why the reason we have this stimulant in our mind is because it's a part of our brain. Because sometimes we think it's wrong. It's not wrong that reward system function even when you get a check or something like that. All right, what have you had to endure through? What have you had to endure through? All change is difficult. That's why you must have to endure. So you got to find out what areas you had to endure through in your life, which is in every area that we have to endure through, is going to cost us to change something, right? It's going to be changed. But don't panic about change, because all change is difficult. I don't care in what arena. It can be weight loss, it can be anything. Any change, you change something, it's just going to be difficult. Sometimes you might have a TV, or you want to switch TV cable stations, right? A network. You got this, and you be like, man, I don't even want to switch. Watch this. The price might be cheaper, right, for you to switch to this company versus that company. But since it's involved change, you like, I'm gonna have to learn a new remote. I'm gonna have to learn this. I'm gonna have to learn this. It's all change is difficult, but so you're gonna have to endure through the part of you got to find out what have you had to endure through, and don't be panicking about changing something, because right now our lifestyles haven't produced what we thought it should have produced, especially in a negative sense of that. We thought it was going to be a little bit different, even if we admit it or not. Where has your greatest challenge come from? Somebody answer that. Where has your greatest challenge come from? Nobody? Not, say it again? Not knowing how to change. That's good. That is good. That's why we get different people to teach about certain things.
Thank you for that. Because he's the one that opened up the car to Rick. I gave him a different one. And the next time. So
yeah,
sometimes it's trial and error.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get another chance to get it right.
Yeah. Did you ever think that you would have made it this far? Another question.
No.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, me either. I didn't actually, I'm 53 now or something like that, I don't know. But 53, I'm 53. But anyway, I actually never even thought 40. In Atlantic City, where we grew up at in Atlantic City, it was like 30 was blessed for you. Like, that's how we was living. We was like, nah, nobody thought 50. Like, at that time, I don't know about y'all, but I know in Atlantic City, we was just like, nah, we just gonna have fun, and then at 30, you die. You think 50, like I'm 53, I'm thinking 50, I'm like, you die at 50, right? Or, you're old. I'm thinking 50 is old. Now I'm thinking 50, like, man, I'm in the prime of my life. Like, I always say, this is truth. I just started living when I deviate from the old life. It was 38 the last time. I was 38 the last time I did substance and commit crime. It's like I lived a different life. Even though I'm 38 at that moment, it's like, yo, I got a whole new, and that's why I was telling people, you know how they be, you know, a lot of people be getting killed and everything. I said, man, it ain't time to die now. Like, I'm just starting to live a life that I am enjoying. And a lot of times we got to understand that we didn't think we was going to make it this far. Here you go, I'm going to give you 3 things. You should write these down. These 3 things you're going to need to help in your process of endurance. These are very important. 3 little things. One of them is wisdom. Everybody say wisdom.
Wisdom.
You're going to need, and you're going to need wisdom. You're going to have to get some wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to discern inner qualities. So when you have wisdom, you're able to discern inner qualities, because everything that produces on the outside of you starts from the inside of you. And if you don't know what qualities you have inside of you, you can literally live your life all the way until the time you go back to your maker and never tapped into the qualities that you have inside. In order to do that, you're going to need some wisdom. You're going to have somebody teach you certain things. And it's okay, no matter how old we are, for us to learn from different individuals. You're going to need wisdom. Everybody say wisdom.
Wisdom.
Another one you're going to need is instructions.
Come on now.
You're going to have to have instructions. Instructions is a direction, watch this, calling for your compliance.
Yes, sir.
Instructions. Instructions is a direction calling for your compliance. I'm going to pass a paper to you. Do not open the paper, right?
Follow instructions.
That's an instruction that calls for your compliance. Listen, wisdom and instruction. In order for you to endure the process, these things right here get overlooked in our lives. And no matter how old we are,
Come on, brother.
if we don't master this wisdom, instructions, right? And the third one is understanding.
Watch out now.
Wisdom, instructions, understanding. The power of comprehending.
Come on, bring it.
Understanding. You're going to have to understand. Understanding means you have the power of comprehending. And the reason why you need to understand and you need to comprehend what's going on, you can, if you have this wisdom and you have the instructions and you have this understanding, if you will put yourself in a better situation in regards when I'm literally strictly talking about this addiction field. If you understand and you comprehend that this substance is literally trying to kill me, it is not trying to make you somebody that's successful, somebody that's going to have their children in their lives, somebody that's going to have a good marriage, somebody that's going to be prosperous in every area of your lives. If you can understand and comprehend that that is not the assignment of the monster. No. But if you don't have the understanding about that, if you do have the understanding about that, then you know you'll go anywhere but back. Because once I understood, I said, wait a minute. This thing is not trying to help me. It's trying to kill me. Once you understand that, while you're going through the process of endurance, you got to have, everybody say wisdom, instruction, and what? Understanding. And again, it's not an age thing. It's not like I'm 25, I'm 85. It doesn't matter who you are. You're going to have to understand, because especially instructions. When my teacher, my mentor told me that, and he gave me instructions about stuff, I remember he told me, at the place I was at, it was a Christian rehabilitation center, and they had an area where they had a stop sign. Right now, there's no traffic lights in there, right? No other cars is driving. but on this side was a wall, right? So no cars could come from my left, right? So this way is just imagine that this side is a whole building. Like nothing it would have to come through the wall in order for it to hit me, right? And I'm driving this way, like right here is a stop sign. So I come this way, I'm going this way, is a stop sign. Now I can see this way. So I'm like, ain't no need to stop. Can't nothing come this way. Because there's a whole big wall, so I know can't no car hit me this way. So I was like, every time I got to this stop sign, I'm like, I ain't stopping. I was running. But this is the thing. My counselor's house was right there where they put the stop sign. I told you the stupid rule. So he in his window, and when he come to the group, he said, Mike, you don't like that stop sign, huh? I said, what? He said, you don't never stop at the stop sign. And I'm like, for what? He said, it's an instruction that everybody has to stop, but you keep running the stop sign. But to me, it seems like it's no big deal. But every program, every rule and stuff that they had set up in the program was showing me how I kept getting back on drugs. They said, you can't follow the instruction. You keep thinking running a stop sign in this facility doesn't mean anything. We put these things in place to show you what you're doing in your addiction. I said, man. So now I know certain things that are instructions aren't supposed to hurt me, it's supposed to help me. But to us, we think, man, this thing's stupid. I ain't stopping. So I will come back over and over and get the same counselor, and he'd tell me the same thing. Do you learn or grow from your suffering? Do you learn or grow from your suffering? How can you tell if a person learned from their suffering? Anybody? Who said that? What'd you say? It is 100% right. You can always tell if somebody learned from their suffering is because they won't repeat it. If you keep repeating it, I'm sorry to blow your bubble. You ain't get it. You missed something. Because you're not going to keep putting your hand in a fire that's burning you, right? And you sitting there and say, well, you know what? I know I got burned last time. Maybe the fire changed. Maybe they changed. Maybe fire is water now. No. You can always tell when a person learns from their suffering, they won't repeat it. When I realized in August 2009, I finally realized that I was learning from all that suffering is because I didn't go back to it. Because we'll complicate it. Everybody say simplicity. Yeah. We complicate it. See, I got to go back again, man. Let me see something. Stay right here. I'll be back. Page 16. Everybody, let's go. Let's go. Somebody remember where I was at? I forgot. I'm going to come back. Oh, we'll figure it out. All right, thank you. Page 16. Everybody there? Huh? Yes. All right. Y'all see where it said the things you read? Yes. All right, I'm going to read from right there. I just want to read some of it. The things you read in this workbook have been accumulated over the years of his incarceration and addiction, talking about me. Not to mention the numerous life lessons I've learned from others. I have to inform you right now that we will be dealing with a lot of listen to me, y'all. Simple. Listen. It's very simple. We complicate it. We complicate it because remember, if you get the not going back part, right? And then remember, I'm giving you some good points. You can't go back, and remember, you gotta eliminate the option. Come on. Yeah, you can't. I'm not going back, and I already eliminated the option of using, right? So now, keep it simple. don't go past, you don't have to go past that point. I can't go that way, and using drugs is not my option. Just keep it simple. Tomorrow, you wake up, I can't go back, and using drugs is not my option. And as you keep doing that day by day, that one day turned into 15 years. I'm 15 years in by using the simplicity, keeping it simple. I think they say that in NA, something like that. Keep it simple, stupid, something like that.
Yes.
What is it?
Kiss, that's what kiss means.
What is that?
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, I just remembered that. I ain't too sharp in all of NA, but I remember that from NA. They said, kid, keep it simple, stupid. Like, I used to be like, yo, I remember that. And you know, that's something, cause they let you know, listen, don't complicate it. And a lot of us have complicated our lives when really all we gotta do is keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just don't go back, eliminate the option. You can't just say don't go back. Yes, I can. If you eliminate the option, I can say that. You don't have to go back. Nobody can make you do nothing. All right, what movie is that? Help me, somebody.
46.
Huh?
46.
Thank you.
That's what.
Thank you. Do you think you waste your energy? Do you think you waste your energy? And the reason why I say that is because I schedule my time. I don't try to waste energy. I try to preserve myself. I'll read about it. This is a Bible verse, Hebrews 6:15. After he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. After he patiently endured, he attained the promise. That's Hebrews chapter 6, verse 15. And it's talking about Jesus. It says when he endured through, he attained the promise after he endured. That's so good is because after we endure, once we go through the process of enduring, then we're going to obtain that promise that was preordained for our lives initially, since before the foundation of the earth. Some things, I mention it all the time, not sometimes, all the time. Some things God couldn't allow me to walk in until I actually endured through some stuff. Once I endured through some stuff, now I'm able, it's like giving your kid a brand new Benz at age 8, right? You give him a brand new Benz, the keys to, wow. It could be a blessing, but that blessing will kill him. If he get behind that wheel at age 8, even though it's a blessing for him, that blessing is a killer because he's receiving it not at the right time. So a lot of things in our lives, we can't endure the promise because we got to endure through some of the stuff that we're going through. Because just be realistic. If we receive some of the things that we are entitled to when we were actively using, it wouldn't even work. We'll blow it. We'll get rid of it. I remember being in the house and I sold my wife weed. She ain't even know, right? So this is funny because her weed game at that time when the weed game came out, they was really expensive. And her weed game was in front of the TV, like on the side of the TV. And we'll be laying on the couch watching TV and everything. So at this time, I rented the Wii out for some crap. I took it to the guy. He wanted to play the game. He ain't had one. So I rented it out. And I was like, yo, when I get paid, I come buy it back. He's like, all right, cool. So we laid downstairs on the couch. My wife like, yo, let's go lay downstairs and watch TV. I'm like, nah, let's stay. Yeah. I said, yo, no, let's go to the bed. Let's go upstairs. Because I knew if we lay on the couch, she gonna be like, man, where my game at? So I was like, nah, let's go upstairs, baby. Let's go. She was like, nah, I wanna lay on the couch. Nah, it's cold down here today. Let's. But watch this. I'm saying that because it wasn't really about the Wii, because we got the Wii now and we don't even use it. It's in the basement, right? I had to endure through the process, right, in order to receive the promise that we was going to have later. You know what I'm saying? We had to get through all that, all those terrible years.
All your badness.
Yo, so we had to get through that, and I'm telling you that is because your situations are may not be over for you. You might have to just get through a period so the Lord can go ahead and say, I had this for you all the time, but I was not going to give it to you until you get to a position where I know you won't waste it. So there's some things you got to endure through, and once you get through it, like he says, after he patiently endured, he obtained the promise. That's so good. After he patiently endured, he obtained the promise, meaning the promise couldn't come until he endured through what he had to go through. And Jesus literally did that. Let's go, page 47. I've gotten good at scheduling my life, scheduling the scene, and preparing myself for knowing, saving the energy, consuming the energy, knowing when to go for it, and how to have the available reserve to be able to do it, and having the available reserve to be able to do it. You have to think about that because after all, it's endurance. Does anybody think that didn't get what you wanted because you didn't have the talent or the strength or the commitment to get it? No, you lack what? Yeah. That's all it is. You lack that endurance during that particular time. And when you faced with a different obstacle, instead of enduring through it, we went that way. Something came, a situation came up, a circumstance came up, a difficulty came up, and you had the option to endure and go that way. But instead of enduring through it, you was like, it's a little bit easier for me to go back to my vomit and do what I used to do. And I'm telling you, because that's all I was used to. I'm like, man, it's easier to just go back to this than push through whatever I need to go through. Yeah, huh? Oh, no, I was reading. Everybody say I must have endurance. Now, I want to, the only thing, watch this ain't in your book. The only thing you need to do while you're in your endurance stage is stay on your feet. Somebody say, I got to stay on my feet. I'll explain it to you later. And the olive have to go through 3 stages before the oil can run. It must go through the shaking, the beating, and the pressing. Just like the olive, some of us feel like we went through the shaking, the beating, and the pressing, and we are right. But just like that olive, you went through what you went through just to get your oil or the purpose in you to flow. One of the things you must learn to develop in this enduring process is learning how to handle what? While we're trying to endure, it's very discouraging to come home. Again, I told you when I came home, I didn't have a job. I went to a church because I followed directions. God told me to go to this church or call this church and ask them, can I come clean the church? I called them and the pastor said, well, I have a lot of calls from people asking for stuff, but it's not often that you get somebody call and say, can I come clean it up? So I went there and I wasn't getting paid. No check, no nothing. I was going there Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. I went to this church every day because I was so focused not to go. So I didn't know what to do. I just knew I can't go back to my stuff. So I went every day, no check, no job, no nothing. Went every day. Then one day I didn't go, and I remember they called me, Mike, where you at? I said, I'm home. What do you mean? What y'all? That's how it happened. I said, they said, where you at? I said, where I'm at? I'm home. What's going on? They said, we don't see you. I'm like, well, I don't get paid. I got to call out too. But watch this. That made me feel important. Like they was looking for me, even though it wasn't a paid job. They said, we missed you. We so used to seeing you. We want to know where you were. I said, wow, that's all right. So I did it for about 2 months. 3 months. No pay. I was so focused on not going. So I did it 3 months, Monday through Friday. Then they came to me and said, hey, we had a meeting. We decided we're going to make a paid position for you. I said, what? They said, we're going to make a position, a maintenance position for you. So they made a position. It wasn't no position. They made it. I went to Stretch Those Bills, Foreman Mills. I got me a khaki shirt, khaki pants. Went to this organization that write names on it. I got them to write the church name here. I got my name, Mike, here. I came to work that next month. They said, you made your own uniform? I said, you know why? Because I was so focused on I would do whatever's possible. I just was feeling discouraged because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, what I'm doing, because I only did this lifestyle. But I was so focused, I'm not going back. I don't know. I went and got I still got the shirt at home. It's like I keep it. I had it in the frame. I got to get another frame. I had it folded up in the frame because it took me to so many different levels. But the reason why I'm telling you that says, one of the things you must learn and develop in this enduring process is you need to learn how to handle what? Discouragement. Because it's possible you might leave here and people that you might want to work at might not hire you. Or you might get discouraged of the family members that you did things to might not forgive you. You might face a lot of discouragement, but you're going to have to learn how to handle discouragement. If you're going through the endurance stage, and now that I'm telling you this, it's going to be planted in you if you're receiving it or not. When you learn how to handle discouragement, you're going to be faced with difficult situations. And I tell people this because I don't want you to be shocked. When you're faced with these things, you're going to be like, you know what? I do feel a little discouraged, but that's okay. That's okay. I got to endure through this process. Everybody say, stay on my feet. Stay on my feet. But remember I said the only thing you had to do, you had to learn how to stay on your feet. Watch this. When we were a kid, they had a toy. This particular toy, for the older people, they might understand it, and some of the younger people might don't know what we're talking about. But when we were kids, I used to like to play with this toy. And the toy, you used to punch the toy, and it used to come back up. And the toy was called Weebles Wobbles. They say Weebles Wobbles, but come on, y'all. Yo, I'm telling you that because that's us. We weeble, we wobble, but we don't fall down. So everybody in here under the sound of my voice, you made it through this endurance stage is because you got knocked down and got back up. They hit you, you got back up. You weebled, you wobbled, but you didn't fall down. So if you endure through the process, all you got to do is stay on your feet. Everybody say, I'm standing on my feet. Hallelujah. Just stay on your feet. That's all you got to do. You're going to get discouraged. Things ain't going to go your way. That's all right. I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you everything going to go your way. No, they not. That's all right. Just take a deep breath. Get your cold glass of water. Cry if you have to. That's all right. For now on, just remember, people, they're going to think you're crazy, but whatever. You're going to be mumbling it. We was Bible, but they don't fall down. They're going to be like, man, I think he done went crazy. But you talking to you, you got courage. All right, I'm telling you, I think y'all could. Ask my wife. I be talking to you. She be thinking I'm talking to her sometimes. What you say? I wasn't talking to you, I'm talking to myself. She be calling like, what you say? I wasn't talking to you. I encourage myself. You ready now?
I just want to say about discouragement. There's a word in discouragement, and you see courage right in the middle.
Yes.
So this is a prefix. So if you put DIS in front of a word, what it does is try to make that word void. It try to make that word appear as it's not true. So the root word is courage. You put this on there, it means you don't have courage. Now, if I was a person and my name was discouragement, and I came to you and said, you can't have that. You would look at me like I'm crazy and push me on out the way and be courageous enough to go after what you want, because it's little old me. Anytime you feel like that, picture it like a person that's trying to stop you or take your courage from pushing forward. Don't just sit there in it.
Yeah.
just picture it as a person that's trying to keep you from getting something you want. I don't see too many people in here will let somebody else just tell you you can't have something. And you just sit there. You will find a way to go after it. But when it's us, when it's something us and internal in us, we let us be us. So I'm a visual person. I like to see demonstrations and things like that. So if you just picture, when you're feeling like that, put it in the mind of a picture, and you're like, you know what, get out of here. It didn't work this time, but I'm going to keep going forward. Amen?
Amen.
There's always, everybody say, we was wild.
We was wild.
They gonna look for it. They probably got one of them in the warehouse.
I'm going to look for one of them.
They look for one in the warehouse. Like, yo, Major, can I get me have that old?
We were wild.
That we were wild. Oh man. All right, let's look at who discourages you? And in my book I wrote, keeps you from trying new things because it makes you lack the confidence that you can succeed. So you need to find out who discourages you. And the next one says, what encourages you? What encourages me, for me, is the Word of God. In the morning when I wake up and I'm reading the Word of God, it encourages me is because I'm able to see individuals who made a lot of mistakes and I can relate to them. And I still see God using those same individuals who made all these mistakes. So it encourages me that I'm in their class. And then what discourages you, you got to find out who discourages you what discourages you is because you definitely have to find out. Some people have a lot of motives why they discourage you. Some people might don't want you to succeed. You might don't believe it, but everybody don't want to see you make it. Like you probably think, why would nobody want it? Everybody doesn't want to see you make it. I said that to some facilities. I remember going to do minor adjustments at a facility. And when I was coming out the facility, one of the staff members said, another day, another dollar, right? And I said, nah, I'm here for purpose, not for the dollar, right? And what he was saying is, as long as they keep coming back to this jail, I can make another dollar. And I was telling the class, and I said, some people look at you as their mortgage. I need you to keep messing up. And I said, my motto is anywhere but. So, watch this. Can you imagine the spiritual attacks we be under? Because we coming into different places trying to keep you out, other than coming back to encourage other individuals working at the facility and things like that. But everybody don't necessarily want that for you, right? They want to see you succeed. Y'all have, well, I know she wants y'all to succeed because look at me, right? I came into their lives and I've been successful ever since I met them. I never literally didn't turn back since I met them in Princeton Salvation Army. So you got to understand that everybody don't want you to succeed, right? And everybody's not going to be happy that you succeed. I remember being in a meeting and my wife was hitting me on my leg because the guy was like competing, like, yo, I got a story like that too. I know you did this, and I did this too. And I'm like, why? What's wrong with him? And my wife was hitting me on my leg. He was feeling some type of way. And I was like, I don't know why he's feeling like that. Because I'm thinking that we should connect together and be working together instead of us being jealous of each other. I'm thinking like, why not us work together and help individuals? But you got to understand, whoever discourages you and who encourages you. You got to keep those people at bay. So what we're going to do, the next one, we're going to take a break. And I'm going to give y'all a 10-minute break.
Before you take the break, you can do your call.
You want to do it now?
Yeah, that way they can think about it while you're on break.
Oh, okay. Come on. Let's do it.
Okay. So I walked around with your offering pan.
Right.
I don't know that. The reason you have to have endurance is because when you leave here, different situations are gonna come your way. And you're gonna have to make a choice. Remember, my husband said you gotta eliminate the options. When you leave here, you have to have it in your mind that the only choice you have is to go anywhere but backwards. But if you leave here thinking, I got another chance, or when I get there, I got 2 ways I can handle this, then who knows what's going to happen, right? Because you can't predict tomorrow. So I represented a crossroads when I came to you, and you had to make a choice. So I want you to open up your choices.
And it's just
And
demonstration
it's a
purpose.
demonstration. I don't know who got what.
Yeah, it just don't feel, don't, yeah, it's demonstration.
So, did anybody get a choice that said you went anywhere but backwards? Stand up if you did. Stand up.
What did it say?
What did it say? Did it say you went anywhere but backwards?
Yeah.
I ain't definitely gonna hold with being incarcerated.
What do you
No,
want
what
to
did it say? What did it say?
That's what it says, incarcerated.
No.
Did anybody's card
Which
say?
one? No, yeah. Which one is?
I said, went anywhere but backwards, got your family back.
So
Amen.
this whatever it says, that's anywhere but back.
What did yours say?
Go backwards?
Does it say it on the paper?
No, it's got took another chance, now the girl eyes.
You heard that? He took. This is your choices that you could pop. This is what
Anybody
could
who has the
possibly
paper that said, go ahead.
What did yours say?
Mine says you went anywhere but backwards.
Great. That means you made it. You went anywhere but backwards. Yours said you went anywhere but backwards and got your family back. What did yours say?
Mine says, took another chance, got lucky.
Ooh, that means you took a chance on doing whatever it is, your drug of choice or whatever you normally do, but you got lucky. You know? I'm going to tell you a story. My husband was in line to cop dope one time, him and a friend. And we had a pastor friend from the Salvation Army in Bridgeton, and it was Pastor Russell. And I would call him when I couldn't find him, and he would look for him or whatever. So this particular day, I called him, and he was standing in line. But he kept stopping the phone call, and then Pastor Russell would call back. He kept calling back to back, that he told his friend, you go in front of me, let me answer this phone call. Well, he answered the phone call. The little bag that his friend got was no good. But he's still standing here.
Wow.
That's what I mean by you took another chance, but you got lucky. Anybody else want to share what they're saying?
You get no chance.
You got another chance? You got another chance. What'd yours say?
Become a recovery coach.
You became a recovery coach. Hey, this is the choices you can make when you eliminate the options or if you still have choices. What's yours?
You're making it.
You're making it.
I said, graduated the program, moved to a new city, gave yourself a fresh start.
That's good. Graduated the program, moved to a new city, because sometimes you can't go back. My husband could not go back to Atlantic City. We go there to visit, but he don't go there and just hang around and walk around like he used to. Anybody else want to share?
Beat up by a dealer, lost an eye.
Huh?
Beat up by a dealer, lost an eye. That's
Beat-
never happened. Crazy.
Yeah. It's not demonstration.
I don't know.
You
But that could happen to somebody
Yeah.
else. You hear his card
it's
say
not.
he got beat up by a dealer and lost an eye. That could happen to someone.
Mine said wrote the book. It was just interesting. We were just on his right there. He just came here from another city.
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't know. You
Not
pick the
even
cards.
close.
What did yours say?
Went home, changed friends, worked there.
Process, just extend.
Yeah.
So, it said you went home, you changed your friends, you're working.
And process to proceed.
So you see that he's doing what he had to do. He went home, he changed the people he hang around, he got a job, and he's working his process to succeed. He's doing things he needs. That means he eliminated the option. Doing what he gotta do. Sometimes you gotta let friends go.
Yeah, you do.
And if they're your true friends, he'll be okay with that. They won't feel. I remember one time we used to pick people up for the church. They did Victoria's Living. It was a support group ministry. And we wanted to pick one of his friends up. We're going to take him with us. So his friend was in this development or I don't know what they were, projects out in Atlantic City. I don't know too much about the city. That wasn't my thing. We went there to pick him up. So he's clean and sober now for years. He gets out the car to go knock on this one door. You got to get in that door to get to the
Apartment.
But the friend hollered out the window, "No, Mick, you ain't allowed up in here. You don't come up in here. I'm coming down." That's a good friend.
That's the type of friends you want.
Now, he's still in his struggle, but he said, "No, not you.
Don't
You
come
don't
in
come
here.
up in here. I'm coming down."
That's right.
Let me come out.
Anybody else want to share?
Took another chance, got lucky, what your boy got.
Wow. Mine says, took another hit, currently on life support.
Don't take them personal.
It's not you.
Y'all shot.
It's not like I wrote your name on the card and
Yeah.
said this is going to happen to you.
Everybody reading like, well, I got this. We trying to show you that no one in here that's going, if you go back, right?
Anything can happen.
Nobody in here knows what can be the outcome if you use again.
And if you don't use, it said take another hit. Let's say, broke
You
in
don't
your
know.
house. Hanging with the wrong people. You with the wrong crowd. You know you ain't
You
supposed
know.
to be with these people. You know?
Nobody knows. This is why not going backward is so important, because you don't know if you use another substance what the outcome of that substance is going to be. No,
Or commit another crime.
anything, you don't know.
Or, when my husband used to
He
get
wanna be
cleaned up
here.
and want to go back and let everybody know how good he looks. So you going back to the old hood just so they can see how cleaned up and fresh. You got your weight up, got your hair cut. You looking good. You want them to see.
He said he committed robbery.
He committed a robbery, armed robbery. So now he in jail.
Now you want to read the book.
You ain't want to read. Matter of fact, you left the book in the chair. Now you want to read the book.
That's funny. Yeah, but you see what she's saying. You don't know what the outcome is going to be from all the ones that you pick.
Anybody else want to share? Nah.
Go ahead.
Took a chance, bad dope, and now you're not in touch with reality.
So that means you done lost your.
You done lost it.
Took another chance. Anybody else? Y'all can
You
read. Anybody else
outside,
want to
you
read?
outside in the snow dancing in your rain boots.
Go ahead. Go with yourself.
Wrote a song for Jelly Roll, Steve.
Who? You wrote a song for Jelly Roll?
He paid you for it. Y'all know who Jelly Roll is?
That's
I
smart.
love
I
Jelly
love Jelly
Roll.
Roll.
So you wrote a song and Jelly Roll paid you so he could sing it. You
Nah.
don't know the talent you have. There's authors in here and artists in here. You got talents. I didn't know my husband could write. Well, I did kind of because his love letters. I said he tell me to write a book.
Yeah.
But you don't know. You don't see that. You have hidden gifts.